That's kind of what we thought.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Davis.
Present.
Alderman Moore. Alderman Vaccaro.
Present.
Alderwoman Howard.
Present.
Alderwoman Murphy.
Here.
Alderwoman Boyd.
Present.
Alderman Muhammad. Chairman Conway.
Present.
6 present. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I was going to wait another half second for the president. Alderwoman,
President coming.
would you like to testify on behalf of the president, Tom?
Sure. And I
Thank
did
you.
ask Rachel to come just in
Oh,
case.
Rachel, come on over.
Just in
too.
case there were questions. But we discussed it, yes.
I can go over what the board bill does first.
Rachel, you just sit on.
And I want to make sure everybody has a copy with the exhibit attached, because I don't know if that's
I'm pretty sure we don't.
online.
We don't. This is in your way. Down that way.
Standard breakdown.
We got this. We already had
Is this
that.
different
Well, I think there's an exhibit.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, it's the same except for the exhibit 1 is attached to this.
It's the same thing with the exhibit. I get you.
Oh, here, this is extra.
I hear you.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Tom, go ahead.
Okay, basically what the board bill does is it's a supplemental appropriation that would have to get approved by the Board of Estimate and Apportionment as well of $390,000 for fiscal year 2018 from the $2.3 million in local use tax fund that's available to go to the circuit attorney's office for salaries directed at the victim and witness services unit and community engagement and diversion programs. And exhibit 1 just kind of breaks down what, that total and how it would break out in regards to salaries and fringes and taxes and such.
All right. And how many people, are we adding new people?
Yeah, this would be enough, I'm thinking, 5
Can't
people.
tell how many.
Yeah.
At this point, it would depend on who we hire, but between 4 and 5, but in each of those infrastructure categories.
Okay. Are there any questions? Alderwoman Howard.
So these would allow you to hire new positions?
Yes,
Okay, and you would retain what you have now?
yes,
Okay, so you're saying 4 to 5 new
correct.
what?
New employees in 3 different areas.
What would they do?
They would be victim support primarily.
Okay,
One of the big issues facing us right now is the infrastructure with which we support victims and witnesses.
okay,
We got $24,000 from the police department 2 years ago for
Mhm.
witness relocation out of asset forfeiture. We've gotten nothing since.
okay,
So we absolutely have to have the infrastructure to, one, pay for people who are indigent with counseling who don't qualify for the state, to pay for witness relocation, temporary transportation cost. Right now, many times we
So-
can't even give them a meal.
okay.
But so we
With
need
saying this is for employees, this would allow you to take money from your GOB into the witness relocation?
These people would manage those programs and allow us to provide services through some of these
So where would the
positions.
money come for the services and the
They-
relocation?
We are working with state DPS.
Okay.
Right now, there's a cap, as is outlined in the board bill. There's a cap from the state of about $1,400 a
Okay.
year. We are working to lift some of that cap. We are also working to lift some private grants that the circuit attorney is in the process of getting. The problem is, we don't have the personnel who can manage, we don't have the infrastructure to
Okay.
support that.
Okay, all right.
So
That's
and-
why I was wondering,
yeah.
you're saying victim support, but then you're gonna use salaries, so it's like, is that freeing up
Right.
money in other places for you to use that? That's-
Yeah, and if possible, and if that comes to that, we certainly would explain that to the committee, but the real plan is, we don't actually have the infrastructure to leverage what's out there.
The personnel.
Right, we just don't. And so this is really about building our capacity to serve victims and witnesses in that portion. The second piece is, and I believe Alderwoman Davis talked about it yesterday, is to work in the neighborhoods to educate and improve cooperation. The police department is clearing around 19% of the attempted murders, the assault ones. We charge about half to that. I mean, those are murders that they were just bad, that didn't happen because the person was a bad shot. We have to work, and we have to work now. And so this is to build our capacity and infrastructure to begin to work in some of those areas, because the reason we're not getting cooperation. I mean,
gotcha.
so this is about building at least short-term infrastructure and capacity to leverage what is out there in those three key areas: victim support, community support, and pretrial diversion.
Okay.
So we actually have a grant from Washington. We just don't have for some of our diversion.
You don't have a
piece.
person to manage it.
Right,
Okay.
and right now I can tell you our cup runneth over. We don't have a body to do it.
Okay.
So,
All right, I just,
Yeah.
I wanted to be clear because we need to understand that this will allow us to hire people to manage not, when you say infrastructure, I'm thinking, roads and bridges and.
Got it.
And hardware. But we're talking about hiring people to manage the victim support programs,
Right.
basically.
yeah,
Okay.
and community education and
And-
diversion.
Yeah,
In each of those areas.
crime prevention.
Yeah,
Anyone
exactly.
else, anybody else have a question?
Thank you.
No problem, thank you.
Then, if there's no questions,
I make a motion
well,
that we.
let's see, was there?
Wait.
So
We do
go
have
ahead.
another question.
Well, I guess somebody else would have to make the motion.
Well, we're
but
just gonna make the motion.
I
was
just
gonna-
wanted to add,
Okay.
if, I don't know if we need to do this or not, add the actual ordinance number
Oh,
as
yeah.
an amendment where we just have ordinance blank.
okay,
The
I
actual
see.
ordinance number is 70540.
Okay.
So,
I don't know, somebody.
So we have
Alderman
to-
has make the
705.
I make the motion to add
40.
70540 to Board Bill 93 in the annual budget ordinance.
Second.
second, and where would that be added?
Where
Right
there's
there
a
was a
blank
blank.
where it
What's
says
open?
budget
Okay, good.
ordinance
Okay.
blank,
Yeah, so,
And
and
page
five,
line 5
5 and 8.
and 8. Okay, so we'll just have to, see, on the motion.
Right, and that's just a ministerial act.
Yeah.
But we'll go, we don't need a motion because that's just defining the actual number.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
All right.
I'll let it-
Are we finished asking questions?
Yeah, we were getting ready to do a motion, but Carol made a motion, well, she can do it over again now.
I make a motion, we pass Board Bill 93.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, Board Bill number 93 come out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Davis.
Aye.
Alderman Moore. Alderman Vaccaro.
Aye.
Alderwoman Howard.
Aye, and I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor, please.
Okay. Alderwoman Murphy.
Aye, and co-sponsor also.
Alderwoman Boyd.
Aye, co-sponsor.
Alderman Muhammad.
Aye.
Chairman Conway.
Aye, and you can add me.
And
And you can
my
add
name.
Alderman Moore as well.
The entire committee.
Add the committee.
There you go.
I didn't hear you,
Yes.
Alderwoman Davis, is that okay?
Yes, he's already on.
She's
hold.
already on.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
already on.
Okay. Entire committee.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
20 minutes.
That's, burn.